All systems go. Cleared for takeoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the NFL Quick Hit video for wide receivers over here at SHIPITNation.com. We'll be breaking down the wide receiver position specifically on DraftKings. A lot can be applied to FanDuel as well. We have these videos for every position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense. So make sure to check out all the videos. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button. Helps us out a ton in attempting to grow this channel. We appreciate all your support so far. Wide receiver position, just kind of going through it here, first look type stuff. I think, a lot of people are going to spend up, and then a lot of people are going to just go down to the bottom and play value plays, which I think leaves a lot of these mid-tier plays pretty low on, which we'll talk about here throughout the show. Up top, we have Justin Jefferson at 9.4K. I mean, in a phenomenal spot. Big total in that game, sitting right around 54. Game where the Vikings could be playing from behind. He's just such a safe option. I mean, just look at this: 27, 28, 30, 27. I mean, absolute stud. Him and Tyreek, I think, are now in a tier of their own at the wide receiver position. Speaking of Tyreek, $400 less. And a little more volatility in his performance: 47, 15, 33, 10 last week in a game they just got their butts kicked in. Prefer Jefferson, prefer that game a little bit more. This Miami game, I mean, they should just be able to take care of business any way they want on the ground, in the air. So, I mean, in tournaments, yeah, I'm good with Tyreek, but I prefer Jefferson. If spending, those two are going to get most of the ownership. So coming down a little bit, A.J. Brown at 8K, I love. Saw the connection that he has with Jalen Hurts last week. He went off. It's back-to-back weeks of him going off. I think he continues to go off like that game, the Eagles and the Rams, much lower ownership than the top tier. Jamar Chase is a tough one. I mean, that Bengals offense is just a disaster. Burrow, I don't know if he's not healthy or whatever, but, man, they just don't look good. Had the big game 2 weeks ago, 4-12 for 141, 29 fantasy points. Yeah, I'm fine with him, but I just don't love that game all that much. Nakia looks like a stud. 7-7's too cheap. If you're playing that game, if you're playing some Eagles, he's a perfect piece to put in there. Waddle, I don't really love Waddle this week, to be honest. He should come in low owned, but not much interest for me there. Devonta Smith, 7.4K. I think he comes in low owned. If you want to play a Hurts stack, totally fine playing him in there. 7.4K. It's an uncomfortable price tag. Not a ton of interest in this middle tier, this upper six range. The next guy that I have interest in is going to be Nico Collins at 5.6K. I mean, he's got the connection with CJ Stroud, who we talked about in the quarterback video. I do like Collins, 5'6". He has big upside. He's looked great so far. And this could be a competitive game with the Falcons. The downside of the Falcons games are if they get a lead, they're just going to try to burn that clock. But Collins is definitely a play. I like him this week. In terms of membership at SHIPITNation.com, if you are not a member, now is a good time to get in. We launched the 5-day mission. $19 gets you full access to the website, all our NFL content. MLB playoffs are going on right now. PGA is back. And then MMA is back as well. And then NBA and NHL right around the corner. So for $19, get a chance to sample out our entire product. We think that you will love it. Head on over to SHIPITNation.com. Check it out. Subscribe here on this video. Like I said earlier. Coming down a little bit after Collins, Cortland Sutton, I do like at 5.4. I don't love that game, the Jets and Broncos games, but Sutton just strikes me as too cheap at 5.4. He's got a lot of upside. He's been relatively safe. I mean, double digits every game. That's not great, but shows that there's a floor there. Tutu Atwell, I'll continue to play. Didn't really do much last week, but in this game that I think has a chance to go back and forth a little bit like him. Addison in those cousin stacks, 5-3 should be low owned. Thielen continues to be a target monster, a game where they're likely trailing 19, 14, 8 targets. I guess, he's their wide receiver one. They're playing from behind. Definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Michael Thomas, pretty popular last week. Didn't do much, but it's a nice floor situation like we talked about. 4.9, good price tag there. Tank Dell, a guy that we want to stay on here in this in these Houston stacks. Coming down a little bit, there's not much here in this range. KJ Osborne is a play for me in those cousin stacks like we talked about. Lazard, I think, as a cheap option is a guy that we can look at. Rashid, a potential cheap option. Downs for the Colts, 3.7K. He's cheap. He's out there a bunch, running a lot of routes. Calvin Austin in 3.5K. I mean, we don't love the Pittsburgh offense, obviously. A lot of risk in this Pittsburgh offense, but 3.5 I'm interested in. And then there's one. Let's see, did I hit on all my cheap guys that I wanted to talk about? Boom, boom. 2 more. Where is he? Robert Woods, 4K flat, part of those Houston teams. He's getting a lot of targets, 10, 9, 6, 6 for a 4K guy. Definitely interested there. And then the last guy I wanted to mention as a cheap option is who we talked about on the Showdown stuff quite a bit this past game, Wan'Dale Robinson. Now this offense is a disaster. No offensive line. The team sucks, but he's 3K. And you can see they're just trying to get him involved. 5 targets, 6 targets, gave him a rush attempt last time at 3K. I'm very interested in him. So overall at this position, we're looking at a lot of people going up top. I think this mid-tier goes overlooked a little bit, which, probably rightfully so. Like the guys up top, like some of these guys down low. Not a ton in this middle-ish range, like 6K range. There's just not a lot for me there. So that's kind of where we're at the wide receiver position. All our content will start to drop later in the week here and then be finalized rolling right into Sunday. So make sure you tune into the other videos. We did a quarterback video, running back video, and then we'll have tight end and defense as well. So make sure to tune into all those videos. Like, subscribe here. It helps us out a ton. Appreciate your support. And we'll be back with more of these videos here throughout the week. Good luck in your contest.